Okay, it's Sunday afternoon, and you know what Sunday afternoon means, folks. It means Coach Michael Burt's coming to you live in the Competitive Intelligence briefing. Every Sunday, I like to, I call it go into the woods and come out with a strategy, come out with a mindset, come out with a skill set. Obviously, you're in a program called Competitive Intelligence for individuals or group leaders or just people who are looking for a competitive edge or competitive advantage. I think that advantage comes from a couple places. It comes from your past. It also comes from who you're studying. It comes from your skill sets. So in today's edition, it looks like Competitive Intelligence Briefing number 37. If there's 52 weeks in a year, we're on 37, folks. So we're pushing toward the finish line here. And I would just ask you a simple question as we start today. Are you satisfied with the results that you're currently getting in your business? Are you satisfied with the results you're getting in your life? And if not, are you frustrated enough to take an action? I do believe where there's no pain, there's no change. Where there's no pain, there's no change. And we can live with a low grade fever for a long time. And so what we do is we just keep getting more of the same. There really is no quantum leaps or quantum jumps. We complain mostly about it, but we really don't do the deep work. Cal Newport wrote a book called Deep Work. We don't do the deep work to get better. So we keep getting the same results over and over and over. And maybe there's a little bit of frustration from time to time, but not enough frustration for us to go, you know what? This is the week that I'm going to do something about it. So I sit down and I think, what do people need to hear? What do I need to hear? And many years ago, there was a book called Selling the Invisible. And if you're out there, and no matter if you're selling a product or selling a service, but you've ever said to yourself, man, this is just so hard to sell. Number one, that thought takes us into the sewer cycle. And it is going to be hard to sell if your first belief out of your brain is, man, this is really hard to sell. Okay, and we want to shift that to knowing what you're really selling. So I've got a forthcoming book coming out. I've actually got two books that are coming out. One called 8-Figure Skill Sets Stuck in 6-Figure Vehicles. That's a good frustrating book for you to read because it's going to make you want to be expansive. Excuse me. It's going to make you want to play at a higher level than what you're currently playing because you're going to say, I'm level 10 stuck at a level 4, but you're an 8-figure person stuck at a 6-figure salary, or 6-figure person stuck at a 5-figure commission. So when you think about it, so then I was sitting around on a Sunday and I go, you know what? I'm going to write a book about selling a bigger future. How do you sell a bigger future? So in this week's Competitive Intelligence, I'm going to give you a preview into that book. And I'm going to go through this because if you've ever said those words, I want you to think of it. Some people sell a product. This is a product. This is a product. Okay? This, I take a lot of notes. This is a product, right? Buy these notepads where I can take notes. These are products. But some of you are selling a future. What you're really selling outside of a product or service is you're selling a bigger future. You're selling that if I engage with you because of your knowledge and your skill and your desire and your confidence, at some point in the future, I will be in a better position, right? Some people use a skill to create a product. And the product solves a problem, okay? And the money changes hands when problems are solved. But most of my life, I have sold books, I have sold programs, I have sold courses, I have sold boot camps. But most of my life, what I've really been selling is a bigger future that I could use my hard skill to help you with your ambition. Okay? I could use my past to help you build your bigger future. I could use my skill to help you build a better life, build a bigger financial engine, get clarity. Now, a lot of these things are what's called intangible. When I was working on my doctorate, I had courses in qualitative and quantitative measurement. And I'm like, why am I in this course? What does this have to do with leadership? Well, I learned a lot in the course. And one of the things I learned is that there's two types of improvements. There is a qualitative improvement, which means you're getting better, but you can't measure it. You can feel it. That's why I always say to a person when I'm on the phone selling a bigger future, I go, look, if all we took away, if all you got from me in 90 days with me or 1 year with me was clarity about your concept, would that be valuable? If all you got from me was a remarkable boldness, Would that be valuable if all you got was you found your skill and your vocation? If all you got and you didn't make $1 back, would that be enough for you to make a commitment to get in this program? Now, what if you learned a strategy? And I talk about in the book how we have a new guy in the program named Randy Thompson. And Randy Thompson is a State Farm agent, and Randy Thompson is coaching other agents. And he came in and he just started training in competitive intelligence in this program. Okay, in this program, he invested $25K in his to be in the locker room, but he started training in the online academy. And something I said triggered a thought. He changed his strategy because of the thought, and he was speaking. And on the back end of his speaking, he was making $10,000 to $15,000. Right? That was his typical purse that he took home. But after one coaching session in competitive intelligence, he changed a strategy. He had a boldness about him. And the next speaking engagement, he did $150,000. So depending on where he started, 10,000 or 15, that is a 10 times increase, or even a 15 times increase in one coaching session. So if he invested $25K in his coaching, but he just picked up $140,000 more dollars, that is a quantitative measurement. So when I am selling, the first thing I talk about in this book, this is why I love the little book by Price Preach It, U Squared. It's why I love, I think I got it over here in my thing. It's why I love little books like this, because they're little books that make you think different. It's why I'm writing little books. Because the little books allow me to have a strong, like, person of interest, like boom, right? 8-figure skill set in a 6-figure vehicle, boom. How to sell an invisible, how to sell a bigger future, boom. Now, here's what I'm telling you, because these little books tackle one thing, and that one thing could have a qualitative improvement. See, really in U Squared, Price Pritchett doesn't tell you how to have a quantum leap. He just opens your mind up to thinking differently about things. And what is that worth? Is it worth, if you pick up a book, if I pick up this and it costs me $15 to buy this notepad, but in the notepad I have a $10 million idea, is the notepad worth $15 or is it worth $10 million? If you buy my book, Flip the Switch, on that side, which side am I on that side over there, and that book activates your prey drive and you go make $5 million more dollars, is the book worth $30 or is it worth $5 million? And I see people go, oh, I can't buy a book because it's too expensive, right? The mindset. So I think the first thing you got to do when you're selling a bigger future is you got to get clear in what you're really selling. You got to get clear in what you're really selling. So in the book, or in this week's notes, I kind of gave you the chapter 1 of the book, which is I'm still writing. What if I told you that you are selling a nice to have or a must have? See, Adam Coffey, Build an Empire, teaches you to get involved in a business that's a need versus a want, right? Are you a nice to have or are you a must have? I make an argument in this book that if a person is trying to go from 2 billion to 5 billion and they can't do it on their own and they need your skill set to pick up that lift, and that lift represents $30 million, then your skill set is the skill set they have to have. You're a freaking needle mover. It's like they bring you in and your skills, and you're one of the only people in the world that are skilled enough to move the needle for them. They couldn't do it on their own, because if they could, they would have already done it. So when I'm talking to a person and they're scared to make a buying decision, I'm like, look, what I'm bringing you, and I write 14 things in the book, I'm bringing a direction to you that you currently don't have. I'm bringing a creativity to you that you don't have. I'm bringing an energy to you that you don't have. I'm bringing a focus to you that you don't have, a structure, a method, a leadership, a solution, an ambition, an awakening, a reset, a plan, a future. What if I just bring you a feeling of confidence? What if I bring you an impression of increase? What if I instill a remarkable boldness in you? Right? Is that enough to move the needle in you? And all of the above is really helping people move toward their NBO. Right? There's a guy who reached out to me who's a famous coach, and he's like, man, I'd really like to work with you. And I'm sitting here thinking, Mike White, man, I like this dude. I really think he could help me. But there's also 50 dudes that could help me. So it's like, okay, which is the dude I go with? Do I go with one because of their demonstrated capacity? Do I go with one because of their testimonials? Because part of your homework assignment this week is going to be sell a conviction. But back the conviction up with a method. Show people the method you're going to use. See, a lot of times when we get caught in the coaching business of selling a program, it's like you're joining competitive intelligence. You're joining the locker room. You're going to a couples retreat. You're right. You're coming to get activated at the greatness factory. It's like we're selling a program versus selling an outcome. And really what the person wants is an outcome. So when the guy reached out to me, it's like, it's like, I would like to, would you consider working with me? What do you want to accomplish? And it's like, I don't know what I would like to accomplish. Would I like to do X? Would I like to do Y? Would I like to do Z? It's like I'm thinking that through the coaching, it would help me get clear in what my NBO is. So what if you're selling clarity? What if you're selling confidence? See, I talk about in this book that how I spoke in many years ago for just 30 minutes, and the COO of a bank came to me and he said, I said, what do you want me to do? And he said, I want you to infect my people with your enthusiasm. I never heard a person say that. I want you to infect my people with your enthusiasm. Here's the problem. They're stuck. They're static. They don't know how to win at a higher level, coach. They've never worked with a pro before. They've never been in the room. They've never seen it. Come in and freaking infect them with your enthusiasm. Okay? So what are you selling? I want you to make notes here. You're selling a knowledge, you're selling a skill. I go deep into this in the book. You're selling a skill, you're selling a prey drive, you're selling a confidence, and people put it into buckets. It's like, dude, that dude's got a lot of prey drive. I'm betting on him. That woman's got a lot of prey drive. She's got a lot of bounce back. I'm betting on her. You're selling a bigger future. And out of all the people that they could go to, of all the options they have, they're going to go with the person that they think can help them drive their NBO. I'm telling you. It's like that's a must-have versus a nice-to-have. Now, this is where the marketing and person of interest comes in, because I've had coaches in my life that I go, I don't know if I need that person or not. And then I went through the coaching and I go, I don't know how I live without that person. All right? Like Blanchard, who came into my life and taught me mental creation to physical action, how not to catastrophize, how not to go to negative town. And that got me thinking about staying in positive land, right? So when you're thinking about it, Sterling, what you're really selling, especially when you're selling a coaching program, is you're selling a bigger future. So what we're going to get into, it's like how to sell a skill, right? It's like how to sell a skill, how to sell I'm trying to find my Zoom here. How to sell let me pull it back up here. Where'd it go? There it goes. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not on. I just remembered that I'm not even on Zoom right now. Okay. So here's what I wrote down. How to sell a bigger future. Sell a skill. Number one. Sell a solution. What about selling an enthusiasm to a bunch of dead folks? Right? People living with the dead. Sell a possibility. Sell a quantum leap. Sell the fact that you're a needle mover. Sell the fact that you're a must-have versus a nice-to-have. Sell an attitude. Sell a convenience. See, a lot of people are buying a convenience. I'm coming to you because my life is going to be better because you're in it. Okay? Sell a want to. Sell a prey drive. Sell a system. So your homework assignment this week, because the concept that I'm teaching on Monday is what you're really selling is invisible. Right? You're selling a feeling, an impression of increase. That's why when Paul Martinelli said to me, Wallace Wattles in the Science of Getting Rich talks about the impression of increase. Right? Think about feeling that impression of increase. And I am better off because I'm with you. I feel better about me when I'm with you. You look at people making millions of dollars. That is ultimately what they're selling. I feel better about me when I'm with you. So your assignment this week is going to be, number one, sell a conviction. Believe 100% in your product or service. And if you don't, what are you doing? But back the conviction up by sending a method. I just started doing this last night, and I just told my sales team, don't just try to sell a program. Send my method. I have a very specific method. Okay? That's what I got. Very specific. Okay? So sell a conviction, sell a demonstrated capacity. So sell a conviction, but back it up with a method and show results that you've gotten for other people. Okay? Sell a demonstrated capacity. Show people what you've done. Sell an energy. Sell a bigger future. This is what we're going to focus on our Monday call. I'm Coach Michael Burt. Another great edition of Competitive Intelligence. You can watch all of these in the online academy. I look forward to seeing you on the Monday call. If you haven't got your tickets to activate yet, folks, what are you waiting for? September 26th to the 28th. It's coming. And I don't want you to have a regret that you weren't in this ecosystem of high achievers playing at a freakish level. That's what I'm talking about. Let's make it a great day.